The lively streets of Beijing are full of the joys of spring. The shopkeepers are trying to entice the buyers with their vibrant goods. At the castle, a girl questions Zai Menking because he's not accepting her. Zai Menking arrogantly asks her to check herself out, saying she's too hideous. A fat girl so unattractive that she was unpleasant to look at hugs Menking tightly and tells him that she likes him. He humiliates her by saying that she's ugly, short, and smelly. He compares her to a pig and tells her that even casting a glance at her would make him sick. Menking pushes the girl so hard that she bangs into the railings, breaking through them, and falls off the balcony and collapses on the ground. Her body lies on the ground with blood oozing out of it. Hearing the loud noise, people gather around her, wondering who she is and whether she's already dead. Amid the crowd, a pretty boy made his way to her. He tries to speak, but he can't. The boy approaches the girl, who is lifelessly lying there. This girl is his sister. The boy is named Mu Yuheng, and it turns out that he is indeed dumb. He can't even make a sound while crying. The dead girl lying there is Mu Wushuang, the third lady in the mansion of Marquis Ding Guo. The people in the crowd gossip about them, saying that they are meant to be siblings because the sister is ugly and the younger brother is dumb. They also say that this ugly girl deserves to die as she shamelessly bothers the fourth prince, whereas another person agrees to whatever was said. Mu Yuheng holds his sister tightly and stares at those who are demeaning them. A man with ulterior motives compliments Yuheng on his good looks and asks him to come along. The man's devilish side pops out, and he bets that Mu Yuheng will live a happy and luxurious life from now on. The others know that this man is the second child of the Zhu family, and he's got a powerful family to back him up, so he always acts wildly. It is said that over 100 girls and boys have been plundered to his mansion, and they knew that now Yuheng cannot escape from him. The man fondles Mu Yuheng, and at the same time, Mu Wushuang opens her eyes widely. She holds the man's hand firmly and flings him away. People exclaim that a corpse has come to life. They are also quite shocked that she threw away a man with her bare hands and wonder how she became so powerful. Mu Wushuang gets up from the ground and hisses as her back hurts. She looks at a shining green jade bracelet in her hand and remembers that she had died with the betrayer when she tried to take back the rose finch jade bracelet, the most precious treasure of Huaxia, and wonders what happened now. Before coming to any conclusion, Mu Yuheng hugs her tightly as he's so happy that his sister is fine. Mu Wushuang takes a brief glance at Yuheng, and she instantly has a liking towards him. She smiles at him and later has some wild thoughts about him because he's so adorable. Yuheng seems like a puppy, and she can't help but stroke him and hug him. Mu Yuheng pushes her away, and she wonders what happened. She recalls that he's her stunning younger brother who's weak and vulnerable and also disabled because of a martial arts competition. But all in all, he's a soft, gentle, and cute but paidish boy. She learns that she's been transported back in time, and she became the third lady, Mu Wushuang, who is an incompetent loser who is very fat. She always fangirls over handsome boys, knows nothing about martial arts, and is hated by almost everyone. There's nothing new on the whole time travel thing. It was her first time that she had time traveled, but she ended up in the body of a loser. She hits her hand on her head, as even the TV series don't apply a script like this, and wonders if this storyline could be more old-fashioned. She decides to turn the tables as she was the most outstanding agent in the 21st century, and that she had cured many people and killed a lot of enemies. From now on, if there is still someone who thinks that she is as vulnerable as the original owner of this body, it will only take 3 seconds for her to figure out what happened and accept her current situation and teach that person a proper lesson. Zai Menking walks towards Mu Wushuang, thinking that a jerk is like a cockroach, and wonders how she can still stay alive after falling from above. Mu Wushuang teases him and gives him a death stare. For her, Zai Menking, the fourth prince of the Xiaoyu dynasty, was hypocritical, selfish, and ambitious, whereas the original owner had a secret crush on him. But now, Menking is her sworn enemy who took her life. The noisy crowd gossips again about how Mu Wushuang is teasing Zai Menking and how the fourth prince was looked down on by a recognized loser. Zai Menking burns in anger as this fat girl makes fun of him and swears to cut her tongue and feed it. Before he completes his sentence, Wushuang hits Menking with a pineapple straight in the face. He is in utter shock as he gets a cut on his face and it starts bleeding. Menking yells at her for what she just did, but the very next moment, Wushuang stuffs a pineapple in his mouth. Mu Wushuang claps and tells him that she wanted to hit him on the face, so she did it, and she asks him if she should pick some special day to hit him. Blood oozes out of Zai Menking's mouth, and he hides behind a guard. He tells Mu Wushuang not to be so arrogant and informs her that Marquis Ding Guo was suspected of conspiracy, and he's here to arrest the remaining traitors following the imperial edict. Manking orders the guards to arrest the two traitors, Mu Wushwang and Mu Yuheng, and announces that His Majesty will grant them handsome rewards. Mu Wushwang tells him that he doesn't have any evidence and is just trying to label her as a traitor with his plain words. She demands that he should show her the evidence first. Two women rush forward and inform her that they have evidence of how Mu Rongbang and the alien clans cooperated with each other and stole royal confidentialities. Mu Ningxuan, the second-born lady in the mansion of the Marquis, is pretentious, arrogant, domineering, and a woman with a low IQ. She shows Wushwang the evidence. Mu Ningxu informs Wushwang that they tried to persuade their grandfather, but he didn't take their words seriously, and so they had no choice but to end their kinship and place righteousness above the family loyalty. Ningxu is the eldest lady in the mansion of Marquis. She is a genius, shrewd, and sophisticated person. Mu Wushwang taunts them by saying that filial piety is the most important among all virtues, but she called their grandpa by his name, which is so disrespectful. The gossips fly around the noisy crowd as they notice that both Mu Ningxu and Mu Ningxuan are here. Someone talks about how exceptional Mu Ningxu is, as she was admitted to the Xinghai school 3 years ago, and she's already a 6th-class spiritual apprentice at 16. One of them compares the difference between Mu Wushwang and Mu Yuheng, the two losers, to the rest of the ones born in the mansion of the Marquis. Another person informs the group that the old Marquis granddaughter claimed his rebellion, so it must be true. Mu Ningxu heads towards Mu Wushwang and tells her that she knows their grandfather has given her the tiger tally. Ningxu acts friendly and tells Wushwang that if she gives the tiger tally to her, she will please His Majesty to forgive Wushwang. Otherwise, she'll end up like their grandfather and die without a trace. The kind lady shows her wicked side. Mu Wushwang raises her hand and gives Ningxu one tight slap. She spits out blood and rolls over the road. Mu Wushwang stares at her pale face and asks if she's trying to threaten her. She picks up Ningxu's face gently and intimidates her by saying that the one who threatened her last time was torn into pieces and fed to a dog. When Mu Wushwang threatens Mu Ningxu, she notices that Wushwang's spiritual energy is so powerful, and wonders if she's really Mu Wushwang or not. Ningxu begins to sob and tells Wushwang that she kindly persuaded her, but she didn't take her words seriously, and even insulted her. She sums up by saying that she didn't know that Wushwang was such a person, and from now on there is no sisterhood between them. Ningxu, at any cost, has to maintain her public image, but Wushwang understands that she's been acting from the beginning. Wushwang tells her that she is pretty good at acting and that it's a shame that she's not an actress in the opera. But sometimes it feels great to damage the perfect image of an affected person and hear her cries. She steps over Ningxu and stamps on her badly. Ningxuan gets furious as Wushwang dares to hurt her sister. She extends her whip and claims that she has killed many people with it, and now it's getting thirsty and hungry, so she'll feed it with Mu Wushwang's fat body. She swooshes her whip, and Mu Yuheng protects his sister from it. Wushwang steps forward and grabs the whip, and she tells her brother that she's the elder sister and she should be the one to protect him. She swings Ningxuan's whip instead and ties her up with it. Wushwang exclaims that Ningxuan's whip didn't hurt her much, and her little brother cheers for her. She didn't expect the power that existed in her previous life to travel with her here, but now she'll make the best of this power to beat these arrogant losers. Wushwang brags about her strength, saying that these people can't even warm her up, and she tells them to attack her together. Ningxuan rages in terrible anger and swears to kill Mu Wushwang and feed her body to the dogs. At the same time, an old man enters the scene and tells Ningxuan to step back as he'll help her get rid of those two losers and she shouldn't dirty her weapon. He is Liu, hired by the concubine, and he's accompanied by an old eunuch from the palace and Zai Menkeng's servant. Mu Wushwang laughs at them, as they are just some lackeys who can only flatter their owner. With hands on her hips, Wushwang is ready to attack them, but Yuheng stops her. He gestures to her that she shouldn't attack them, but she tells him not to worry. Surprisingly, she needs her little brother's cheeks and finds him incredibly cute. Liu and his companions get angry that Wushwang dared to ignore them, and they are ready to teach her a lesson. Liu unsheathes his sword, while Wushwang challenges them with a grin, and she tells her kittens to come out and have some fun. Mu Wushwang's kittens stir up a loud roar that freaks out the people surrounding her. After those loud noises, huge animals are seen coming out of the shining, bright turquoise shades. Those kittens are none other than the 5-class demonic beast, the silver-winged tiger. One of them cried out loudly, saying that these tigers should be in the mountains outside the city and not here. The roars of the beasts are deafening, and people begin to scatter here and there. Another person screams that it's the beast tide, and they should run for their lives. The crowd rushes, and both Ningsu and Ningxuan run too. Ningxu yells at the common people, warning them not to touch her and calling them dirty things. Mu Wuxuang steps onto a silver tiger, leaving people wondering that all these demonic beasts are surrendering to her. She herself can't believe that her special power from her previous life has not only traveled with her through time, but that it has also leveled up. Wuxuang pets the tiger bravely, and the beast responds to her touch. The crowd wonders how Mu Wuxuang could do this, as only people beyond the level of the spiritual master can summon the 5-class demonic beasts. The talented Mu Ningxu is just a 6-class spiritual apprentice, but now all the beasts have surrendered to Mu Wuxuang, and only the legendary summoner can do this. They bet she'll be the second talent in the Mu family. Mu Ningxu gets furious, as that bitch Wuxuang learned everything from here. Mu Wuxuang taunts them and asks them about their vigor and why they are so timid now. Ningxuan is almost pleading with Wuxuang. She tells her that she's her elder sister and confirms whether she's serious about killing them. Mu Wuxuang is in no mood to get her hands dirty by killing them, but her kittens seem pretty hungry. Wuxuang tells them that she'll give them a choice. Choose one person out of those 3 to die, and she'll spare the other 2. She gives them a time limit by saying that until she breathes 3 times, they must reach a decision. The timid Zai Menking wonders how this fatty has become so powerful, and that she definitely must have other unique skills. He decides that whatever it is, there's no way that he's going to be the one who dies. Wuxuang begins to breathe and counts her breaths. As soon as she's about to finish her counting, Zai Menking pushes Mu Ningxuan down and tells her that she can die for them. Mu Ningxu is shocked to see her sister falling down and screams loudly that she should grab her hand. Once Ningxuan successfully grabs Ningxu's hand, she drags her sister down and apologizes to her, telling her that she really doesn't want to die. Ningxuan then steps on her elder sister and pushes her away, causing her to fall down. Mu Wuxuang becomes the game changer and whips Ningxuan so hard that she falls straight to the ground. Mu Ningxuan faints after falling from above, and Ningxu tries to bring her back to consciousness. Wuxuang states that she has seen enough of these despicable acts, so she has punished her according to God's will. Liu and his companions are not yet done fighting with Wuxuang. Liu exclaims that Mu Wuxuang dared to kill people in public, and so he won't let her and her brother off. Wuxuang informs Liu that Ningxuan was just unconscious and that he's really good at slandering. Besides this, Wuxuang is actually unstoppable, and she jumps off the silver tiger. However, she slips and rolls on the ground. Her body is indeed weak, as she just used one move, which cost her a lot of energy. Mu Wuxuang's stocky figure is good for nothing even after being roughly around 100 kilos. Liu now knows that this fat ass is just bluffing and instantly attacks her, exclaiming that she should go to hell, and that he'll give her a summary execution. Abruptly, a wave of light hits them, terribly injuring them. Wuxuang wonders what exactly happened. A guard announces that the Prince Regent is coming, and everyone bends on their knees immediately and gives way. A handsome man in black sitting in his carriage takes a brief glance at the chaos and asks, "Who is making a mess here?" Everyone around stares at Mu Wuxuang, and she's dumbfounded. She recalls in her memory that the handsome man in front of her is Long Moshan, the Prince Regent. He was called second to the emperor, and he's brutal and cruel. Long Moshan would kill anyone who blocked his way, and interestingly, he is her fiancé. Mu Wuxuang can't stop blushing, and she introduces herself to her prince, saying that she's Shuang and that she's his fiancé. The crowd wonders what on earth is she doing. It was a sin to flirt and seduce the prince with such an ugly face, and they had never seen someone as shameless as her. The prince leans down to her and confirms if she's Shuang, looking straight into her eyes. Long Moshan remembers their childhood, wherein little Wuxuang had taken special permission from His Majesty to marry Moshan. He extends his hand and asks Shuang to come near him. When her prince calls her, she complains that she was bullied and that her legs are so weak that she can't walk any further. Wuxuang asks Moshan to hug her and hold her, and then she'll feel better. She acts like the coyest comic heroine. Moshan looks at her as if he can see right through her mind and finds it interesting. He takes out a pill and orders the guard to give it to his fiancée. Mu Wuxuang happily chews on the pill and thanks her prince. He tells her that there's no need to rush and that she can take her time as they have got plenty of such elixirs. The elixir reacts perfectly with Wuxuang's body and she completely recovers. The people on the street yet can't believe that the regent admitted that Mu Wuxuang is his fiancée, and they check with others to see if they had heard it wrongly. They even feel that the 4-class curing elixir that's worth 10,000 taels of silver is such a waste on her. Long Moshin gets to the point and asks questions about who hurt Wushwang so badly. Zai Menking walks towards Long Moshin, kneels down in front of him, and informs the prince that he is here to arrest the remaining traitors and that he didn't know that the prince would come. He begs for forgiveness for his offense. Moshin asks him whether by the remaining traitors he refers to his dearest wife. Menking certainly denies, but Mu Ningxu explains that it was proven that her grandfather collided with alien clans, and so they were just following the emperor's verbal instructions to arrest the accomplices, and she addresses him as her prince. Ningxu knows that Zai Menking is such a jerk, so she should rely only on herself, and now that she has mentioned His Majesty, she bets that the Prince Regent can't resist. His Majesty is Moshin's uncle, and so he can handle things, and he questions her about whether they are that close that she could call Moshin her prince. His fiancée calls him her prince, which is an act of romance, and asks her who she is. Ningxu immediately kneels down and apologizes and pleads for forgiveness. Moshin ignores her and questions whether she really has the imperial edict. Since Ningxu doesn't have an imperial edict, Long Moshin declares that he'll take Mu Wushwang with him. He stretches out his hand and tells Shuang to come here. Hang on, here comes the imperial edict. The guard reads out that it was God's willingness and the emperor's command that valiant Marquis Dingguo, Mu Rongbang, collided with outsiders and betrayed his country for his own glory. Silence takes over suddenly, but both Zai Menking and Mu Ningxu are happy as it's just at the right time and wonder how Long Moshin will rescue Mu Wushwang now. Moshin takes her hand in his and pulls her close to him. He assures her that she shouldn't worry about anything and that he can handle this matter. The handsome prince promises Mu Wushwang that he will take care of the matter. They look into each other's eyes as if they could witness some immense pleasure. Surprisingly, it starts snowing, building up the intensity of their romance. The people cry out in fear as it's snowing in June, and it's an unusual omen. It snows when the imperial edict is read, and that the old marquis may have some kind of grievance. The guard hears the public saying that His Majesty should investigate this matter thoroughly. Mu Ningxu is furious as this fat bitch is so lucky. Even God shows partiality for her. Long Moshin tells the guard that, as he has seen the reaction of the public, and he should tell His Majesty that he'll investigate this and just care and clear the marquis's name. The guard agrees and leaves. Moshin finds some dirt on Wushwang's face and wipes it away softly. He tells her that he'll take her home to clean up herself. The prince awaits the moment when the phoenix appears from heaven. All the beasts will follow its orders, and when the dragon meets the phoenix, the world will change. Mu Wushwang can't run away from him, as she is his destined wife. Wushwang thanks her prince, but as the mansion of the marquis is not far away, she can walk there. He holds her hand and pulls her in for a hug and tells her that he'll definitely take her home as he said, and since they are couples, she doesn't need to be polite. Mu Ningxu is quite jealous, as she can't believe that the prince is hugging an ugly woman. She finds that there's something wrong not only with his legs but also his eyes, as he is so blind. Wushwang senses that Ningxu is staring at them, so she decides to put on a proper show for her. She stretches out and holds Moshin's face in her hands, tells him that she'll follow his advice, and thanks him again. Mu Wushwang is happy as a silly and blind prince appears as soon as she's in trouble. Besides, he's rich, just like a man-shaped ATM. Wushwang declares that he's definitely hers. She looks at Moshin with shiny eyes and then hugs him tightly. Mu Wushwang taunts Ningxu and turns to see if that little bitch is still looking at them, as she is doing this on purpose. Mu Ningxu is going to burst with anger any moment, and she challenges Wushwang to wait and see, as one day she will bend on her knees and beg Ningxu to spare her. The guards then announce that his prince is leaving and that they should make way again. Mu Wushwang is still happy with Long Moshin in his carriage. She wonders whether the royal family indeed lives an extravagant life. She feels pity that she cannot share these comforts with her stunning younger brother and suddenly remembers that she had almost forgotten about her brother and asks about his whereabouts. Wushwang notices that her brother is being held by the silver tiger. Yuhang was being protected by the beasts in the sky when Wushwang was busy fighting. Mu Yuhang looks a little petrified, but he tries to tell his sister that he's here. They arrive at the mansion of the marquis, and the siblings enter the gates of the mansion happily. But they soon find out that their house was ruined. The mansion of the marquis is on fire, and their nameplate stating that it's the mansion of the marquis, Dingguo, was ready to fall off at any moment. Mu Wushwang knows that this was done by her evil sisters. Mu Ningxuan and Mu Ningxu are merciless. They not only labeled their grandfather as a traitor but also burned down the house because they wanted to kill Mu Wushwang and Mu Yuhang. But now that Wushwang has been reborn, she won't let such a thing happen again. She will make it twice as hard for them, and she'll make sure that they suffer. But before that, Wushwang and Yuheng need a residence to be safe. Mu Wushwang stares at her prince, and she instantly has an idea. Long Moshin stares back at her, waiting for her to tell him what she's up to. Mu Wushwang attempts to persuade her prince by making a cute puppy face and asking him if he could allow them to live in his mansion for a while, and she'll come back as soon as their mansion is rebuilt. Though her appearance is not that pleasing, acting cute would also work. Wushwang even asks him to lend them some money to renovate this mansion if he's so nice, and it's not much. Probably 10,000 taels of silver would be enough, which is about $2 million. Long Moshin agrees to give her whatever she wants. Wushwang can't believe her fate after her prince said yes to her without hesitation. She is currently filled with doubts and wonders why the prince is so kind to her, even though his family is wealthy and powerful enough. Moshin doesn't even need the tiger tally that could regulate 500,000 troops, so is it that he really likes this chubby body, or he has some other purposes? Mu Wushwang is ready to wait and see how long he can endure and how long he can pretend. She leans towards him and pouts to give him a kiss. Wushwang holds Moshin tightly and plants a kiss on his cheek. If he had any other intentions, the prince would push her away immediately. Unexpectedly, Long Moshin feels shy and smiles at her. He asks Wushwang if she is trying to turn him on. She doesn't know what to do and pretends to be asleep. Deep down, she's surprised that the prince is really into her and that his taste for women is quite special. Mu Wushwang yawns loudly and tells her prince that she's so sleepy. She also asks him whether she was sleeping just now and stretches herself. Long Moshin lifts up her face and tells her that she was very naughty while sleeping and questions her if she had a dream of him. Moshin leans closer to Wushwang's face, and it becomes hard for her to control herself when she sees his handsome face. The prince gets closer to her lips. However, Wushwang knows that men are born hunters, and they will never like their prey waiting for them to eat. She blocks his kiss with her finger, as only playing hard to get can stimulate their desires to conquer. Wushwang informs the prince that they have arrived and she needs to get off the sedan. Long Moshin feels that their interactions are getting more and more interesting. As soon as they reach the mansion of the Prince Regent, Liu Jiao waits to welcome the prince. She is the cousin of the Prince Regent, who is a seductress and a great drama queen. She loves to play weak and always fancies herself being pushed down by others. It is also said that she was once in the Gulan Theater, which was a brothel. Lady Liu begins to cough, and her maid gets worried as Lady Liu doesn't listen to their advice. The maid tells her that the imperial physician said that she must take care of her body. Lady Liu tells her that she's fine and that she's willing to wait for Moshin. The actual reason behind Jiao's coughing was that she had seen the prince with a girl, and they seemed pretty close. Lady Liu smiles at Mu Wushwang and asks her who she is. Wushwang greets her and informs her that she'll be living here for several days. Wushwang knows that she's just acting like a pure and innocent girl, but her acting skill is so bad that the personality labels have already sold her out. Jiao tells her that she's happy because she doesn't have company in this mansion. But as soon as Moshin holds Wushwang's hand, Lady Liu doesn't seem to be glad anymore. They both walk away ignoring her, and Wushwang predicts that something will definitely come up during these days. Delicious food is set on the table, and Wushwang is thrilled at the sight of these amazing dishes. She quickly sits down in Lady Liu's seat next to her prince. Liu Jiao gets annoyed, and her maid argues that this seat is specially for their lady. At first, Wushwang ignores her as she's busy stuffing herself with food, but then she asks the maid if her lady's name is written on this chair. The maid gets furious and yells at Mu Wushwang, saying that she doesn't know anything about politeness and that her lady used to sit here, and she tells Wushwang that she should sit in the guest seat. Mu Wushwang really underestimated her and asked her how a maid could paw at a guest. She also questions the maid by asking who exactly had behaved impolitely, and Mu Wushwang gives the maid a hard slap. Wu Yuheng gets up and bangs the table, indicating that he's a tough boy, and they can't be bullied when they have just arrived here. Long Moshin orders the guards to feed her to the dog. Wushwang is clueless about his decision, but Liu Jiao and the maid seem to be quite satisfied. Lady Liu is happy as Moshin really cares about her, but she finds that it's not enough to feed Wushwang to the dog. Two guards enter, and instead, they drag the maid away. The maid screams for help and tells the guards that they have got the wrong person. Liu Jiao approaches the prince and asks him if he got the wrong person, as Wushwang should be the one. Long Moshin stares at her coldly, and that one stare is enough for Jiao to tremble from head to toe. Moshin then hands over a key to Wushwang. He tells her that this is the key to the storehouse, and she can spend money as much as she wants. He also informs her to move to the Mingju court after she finishes her meal. As for Yu Heng, the prince lets him live in the outer court. Mu Wushwang is grateful and thanks her prince. It seems that Wushwang just unlocked an amazing plot where the president gives the silly girl his card and tells her to spend money as she wishes. Her imaginary story could be named as A Fat Girl and Her President in a Wheelchair. Liu Jiao feels that this is extremely unfair, as she's kept everything in order in this mansion. But the prince didn't care about her feelings in front of strangers. Moreover, he gave the storehouse key to the ugly, fat woman. She swears to teach Mu Wushwang a lesson and clenches her fist so hard that it starts bleeding. One day later, Wushwang has finished settling down, and now she's walking around the mansion. Ningxuan Pavilion is just at the opposite of Mingju Court, so it's so convenient for her to see the prince. She heads towards the pavilion, but a guard stops her right out of the door, and he asks her what she is doing here as the prince is bathing now. He's the prince's personal guard, he's highly skilled in martial arts, and he has a crush on Lady Liu. At the same time, Jiao enters and tells the guard that he shouldn't be so mean to Wushwang as she is their guest. Liu Jiao coughs again, performing her fake weakness act. The guard holds Lady Liu and apologizes for his bad behavior, and tells her that she shouldn't get angry as she's very weak. Wushwang is enjoying the drama as she knows that Lady Liu always acts like a weak girl, but it is easy to let the cat out of the bag. Mu Wushwang screams and asks permission from the prince to come in. The guard laughs at her and tells her not to shame herself, as this is the prince's private place, and even Lady Liu cannot go in there. But then, Ma Shan grants her permission and tells Wushwang to come in, leaving Lady Liu, and the guard offended. Mu Wushwang excuses herself and teases them by saying that it doesn't seem that the prince treats her as a guest. Mu Wushwang teases them and leaves, but Liu Jiao seems to be trembling with anger. She wonders what this fatty has done to Ma Shan, as he always obeys her in everything. The guard lends a helping hand to Jiao and asks her if she's feeling unwell. In anger, she throws the tray and tells the guard to piss off. Mu Wushwang opens the door, and her eyes are delighted to see the prince resting peacefully in the sparkling water. The level of her anxiety rises, and her nose bleeds. Wushwang declares that she's coming, but she stops right in front of her prince and admires his broad shoulders and narrow waist, which are similar to an inverted triangle. She imagines touching his muscular abs, assuming that it must feel so great. After a while, Wushwang notices that this is not normal water, as a lot of traditional medicines for promoting blood circulation and detoxification are added to the water. This is a special spring for curing the prince's legs. Wushwang dips her finger in the spring and tastes the water, and Yu Heng reminds her that it's bath water. Ma Shan finds it weird, and Wushwang analyzes that this medicine in the spring is powerful, but it may not work on him. He questions her about how she knows about all this, and she tells him that she knows a little bit about it and that he protected her today, so she'll give him a big gift. In her previous life, Mu Wushwang was a highly skilled doctor who had cured many patients, and she believes that his leg muscles can be cured since they do not totally atrophy. Ma Shan tells her not to worry too much, as she is his wife and it's his duty to protect her. She feels awkward but asks him whether he's serious about marrying her, as there are plenty more fish in the sea. These lines are like those in the stories about domineering presidents. They still make her feel awkward every time she hears them. Ma Shan clearly tells her that though there are many beautiful women, he just wants to cherish Wushwang, and their beauty is not as beautiful as her soul. Back in time, a wizard told Ma Shan that the prophecy says that he must meet someone special to overcome the predestined fate. When the phoenix appears from heaven, all the beasts will show up, and when the dragon meets the phoenix, the world will change. And so Ma Shan must find a woman who can shake the heavens and the earth. Only in this way can he relieve the heavenly tribulation that has fallen on him. The prince realizes that Mu Wushwang is his destined wife. Wushwang tells him that he is insightful, as he can even tell that her soul is beautiful. But deep within, Wushwang doubts that the prince regent must have hidden something from her, which arouses her interest in finding out his secrets. Ma Shan tells her that if she doesn't believe him, he'll prove it to her. The prince holds her hand and drags her, but she doesn't move an inch. The second time, he drags her harder, but nothing happens. The third time, he drags her very hard with all his strength, but she's as stable as a mountain. Mu Wushwang is done with him and tells him that she is a girl and asks him, what does he take her for? Wushwang holds both his hands and pulls Ma Shan out of the water, and he's completely naked. She immediately apologizes as she's pretty powerful. Ma Shan catches her off guard, holds her closely, and jumps into the water with her. After falling into the water, Wushwang is worried as she thinks Ma Shan might kill her just because they disagreed with each other. On the contrary, the prince pulls her close and puts a chain around her neck. He tells her that this jade pendant was left by his ancestors, and he has been wearing it all the time. It can help strengthen the vitality. Fortunately, he wasn't trying to kill her, as she almost thought she was going to die. Mashin tries his best to pull the chain to close it, but the chain is too short. He stops trying and wraps it around her wrist. Long Mashin tells her to take it with her, and she shouldn't take it off without his permission, as this is the proof that Mu Wushwang belongs to Long Mashin. Wushwang feels that he sounds gentle, but there's a strong sense of oppression that everyone cannot defy his orders. She compares his good and evil sides. She wonders if the good side is the real him, as his kindness to her before was all based on her being compliant. No wonder that so many people are afraid of him, and he's so moody that no one could really know what he's thinking. Wushwang realizes that the pendant looks like a part of the dragon phoenix jade, and obviously it's valuable. So it seems that her prince really wants to marry her, but the purpose of her rebirth is not to get married. Mu Wushwang tells her prince that, with all due respect, he's so poisoned now that he has even lost the ability to move his legs, and he has to be supported even when he walks. She wonders if any other parts of his body run well in some way. Mashin drops her in his arms and tells her that he'll show her now itself. Wushwang wonders if this is the so-called forced love. She waits for him to answer, but Long Mashin starts crying, leaving her to think that there's really something wrong. Wushwang was just joking with her prince, but she didn't expect it to be true. She apologizes as she touches his sore spot and tells him that she totally understands him. Meanwhile, Liu Jiao calls for Mashin and tells him that he has been overworking and needs to take some tonics. She informs the prince that she has made tonic soup for him and asks permission to come in. Long Mashin is in no mood for anything as his heart is broken. Mu Wushwang tells him that his cute cousin is coming to give him the tonic, and if Jiao sees them like this, she will be irritated to death. Mashin tells her that he doesn't mind, but Wushwang argues, saying that she definitely does. The prince embraces Shuang and tells her to let Lady Liu see it closely. Mashin tells Lady Liu to come in, and here Wushwang harasses the prince. She tries to balance Mashin on her stomach, and he screams as he's going to fall down. Liu Jiao can't take the sight anymore, as it's really an eyesore. She wonders why the prince prefers that fat woman but ignores her completely. If this goes on like this, the status of princess won't be hers, but Jiao is desperate to get it. Liu Jiao exclaims that she is feeling so dizzy and drops the tray from her hand. Both Mashin and Wushwang watch closely and wonder what is going on, and Lady Liu faints and falls on the ground. The physician informs them that it shouldn't be like this and inquires about how the lady suddenly got so weak. Lady Liu's maids tell the physician that Lady Liu stays inside for a whole day and often cries in the room. She begs the doctor to try his best to save her. Another maid informs the physician that her lady even coughed up blood last night, and if she hadn't found that veil hidden by the lady, they wouldn't have known that Lady Liu was so badly ill. Mu Wushwang examines Lady Liu and concludes that the complexion is ruddy, and the pulse is stable, so it's obvious that she is pretending to be unconscious. The doctor informs the prince that the hemoptysis is caused by depression, and as long as the depression in her heart is released, she'll be okay. Otherwise, if Lady Liu is still weak like this till the full moon night, she won't be able to give her blood to him. Mu Wushwang is thrilled to know about the blood giving on a full moon night and wonders that there are not only mysterious beats in this strange ancient dynasty but also his prince is a vampire. She imagines Mashin carrying Lady Liu as it's feeding time. Being filled with suspicion, Wushwang fiercely opens the prince's mouth to check on his sharp teeth. Long Mashin tells her that she got the wrong idea as he is using her blood to cure the poison. Shuang gets to know that the prince keeps her in the house just for this purpose and that he doesn't like her. Unexpectedly, Lady Liu's maid kneels before the prince and complains that Lady Liu is willing to contribute herself to the family. But the prince has never given her the status. That's why she's got depressed and coughed up blood. She sums up by saying that she had to venture to say something for herself today, and that if the prince had given her the title of princess, it wouldn't have turned out this way. Wushwang understands that Liu Jiao is putting on the play. Long Mashin clarifies that he has promised that in this whole life, only one woman could become his wife, and he would have only one wife throughout his whole lifetime, and that's Shuang. The prince's statement leaves Wushwang astonished and makes Liu Jiao anxious. Lady Liu's only purpose was to become the wife of the prince. Mu Wushwang sighs, although she didn't want to get involved in this kind of fight among women. Since Mashin gave her shelter when she was homeless, she might as well deal with this scheming girl for him. Wushwang heads towards Liu Jiao with a pot of tea. She regards Jiao as her sister and tells her that she looks so ruddy and must be having a fever. The little devil in Shuang pops up, and she is ready to give Liu Jiao some tea so that she can cool down. Lady Liu wonders what this damn fatty is going to do. Maybe Wushwang wants that Jiao Jiao should drink herself to death. Mu Wushwang applies her well-planned strategy and bumps onto the bed, splashing a good amount of tea on Lady Liu. She pretends that it happened by mistake. When the maid comes to interfere with her, Shuang spins around and splashes tea on the maid too. Mu Wushwang acts like an extremely silly girl, telling them that her hand slipped and apologizes. Wang Moshan sniggers and enjoys seeing that Shuang is so intriguing. Lady Liu gets up and holds Wushwang by the collar, calling her a fat bitch, and tells Wushwang that her previous clothes are all wet because of her. She adds up by saying that Wushwang had dared to paw at her, or else she would never touch her for fear that her lard will dirty Jiao Jiao's hands. Mu Wushwang smiles at her, inquiring about her poor health and low spirits, as she looks so energetic at the moment. It seems that Wushwang's tea worked well indeed. Lady Liu gets furious and raises her hand to slap Shuang, but Moshan stops her. He tells her that he has been too indulgent to her before, and so now she dares to be this presumptuous to him. Jiao Jiao tries to explain herself, but the prince is in no mood to listen to anything. Wang Moshan declares that in the future, if anyone dares to say something bad and make Shuang unhappy, he will punish that person severely. He throws Jiao Jiao aside and leaves along with Wushwang. Lady Liu lies there on the floor, trying to explain herself. At Mingju Court, Wushwang hisses at the scratch that must have been caused by the maid just now, and she sadly concludes that she's always in danger in this world. The wound is bleeding, and Shuang seems to be in pain. She has to now figure out how to survive, but it seems that it's not convenient to do anything with this chubby body. She recalls her terrible fall off the silver tiger and how she had been exhausted after several moves, not to mention fighting with others, let alone attract thousands of men. Her appearance is an eyesore. Wushwang declares that the first step is to lose weight and get her shapely and long legs back. She knows that the BMI technique is so good that going on a diet alone is useless. It's only reliable to lose weight through exercise, and she has to still find someone to fight with. Wushwang suddenly feels something strange happening and looks at her wrist. Golden yellowish light swirls out of the bracelet, and she's abruptly transported to another place. She wonders what the hell is going on, as she was just in the room. At the very next moment, two beasts are seen coming towards her. Both of them greet Wushwang as their master. The one in pink attire is Kue, and the other one in orange is Zhu. Zhu is ready to serve their master and asks permission to massage her shoulders. Wushwang finds it strange, as she remembers being in the room and wonders if she is in a dream now. She holds both of them by their cheeks. To get through the tough time, Kue claps on the Wushwang bracelet. He sophisticatedly tells her that it's not a dream, it's a realm in the rose-finch jade bracelet, and they are jade spirits in the realm. Zhu seems quite excited and tells Wushwang that they were born tens of millions of years ago, and it has been hundreds of thousands of years since their former master passed away. Since then, they have been in a deep slumber, waiting for a new master until Wushwang's blood woke them up. Next, Kue hands Shuang a pile of books and tells her to read them herself, as he doesn't want to waste his time explaining the content to her. Kue acts indifferent towards Wushwang, and he gets scolded by Zhu. Zhu tells him to be passionate to the master. Mu Wushwang reads a book called Introduction to the Setting of My Chubby Princess, in which she gets to know about the continents. At the highest heaven continent, Tao is the belief. The hierarchy is based on the level of Kai circulation. According to the level of Kai, the three continents are, namely, the low-level continent, the middle-level continent, and the high-level continent, with hundreds of countries and thousands of cities in each. Zhu explains that the highest heaven continent is only a low-level continent, and it is short of Kai. Wushwang needs to speed up her cultivation to upgrade so that she can go to the high-level continent. Kue concludes by saying that the cultivation level is just like the levels of a game with bronze, silver, gold, platinum, diamond, and so on. So, Wushwang currently has no standard level, and if she wants to go to the other continents, she would better get to the diamond level first. On hearing about the mention of a game, Wushwang gets excited. Zhu tells her that the realm in the rose-finch jade bracelet is the greatest help for her to cultivate and upgrade. Here, she can enjoy a 48-hour day, and the environment here will also change with the improvement of her cultivation. Mu Wushwang soon realizes that the structure of the realm here is so shabby because of her low level. Kue confirms that this is right, and Wushwang gets frozen. Zhu again scolds Kue, saying that after so many years, he is still like this. He needs to be friendly since it's so hard to get awakened, and they have to help their master so that they can have a better life. Zhu tells Wushwang that she shouldn't listen to Kue as she is blessed by God. She has a natural ability to summon all the beasts, and she is a rare immortal spiritual body. So, as long as she starts cultivating, she will definitely achieve great progress. Zhu tries her best to crack open the frozen Mu Wushwang with a chisel. Wushwang finds it funny and questions Zhu about how a fat body like this can be an immortal spiritual body. The last time she ran out of power after just using 10% of her strength. To clarify her doubt, Zhu snaps her fingers and a projector set appears. She tells Wushwang that she'll show her a video for her to understand. The video is about Mu Wushwang's childhood, and Wushwang wonders how they could find a thing like this. Zhu shows Mu Wushwang a video in which a lady feeds little Shuang some medicinal soup because she is in poor health. Zhu explains that Wushwang's parents went missing when she was still a kid, after which she lived with her uncle. To ensure that their children could get more property shares, her uncle's family asked her to drink the medicine every day so that her meridians are blocked and she can't cultivate, and Shuang ended up being fat. Wushwang wonders how cruel they could be. Zhu continues by saying that after she got fat, her ability to perform got affected, and that's why she almost suffered from losses before. Zhu elucidates that the blockage can be solved with the meridian dilation elixir, which could also help in losing weight. Wushwang is a little late to realize that it is a world of cultivation, and it's so easy to become slim and beautiful with some elixirs. In her previous life, she was a pharmacist, so alchemy would be so easy for her. It's actually a permanent career for girls to lose weight and get beautiful. Mu Wushwang is determined to refine the meridian dilation elixir right now, along with Zhu and Kue. She must take advantage of the fact that she has been reborn to enjoy her life in this world. 2 hours later, after trying several times, the alchemy stove broke again. Wushwang is annoyed as they fail countless times and wonders if this is really possible. Kue enlightens her by telling her that alchemists need to control the heat by fusing their minds with alien fire, and that the elixirs she is making with the fire spit by Zhu are very different. Zhu encourages Wushwang by telling her that those who have learned how to refine elixirs have to fail hundreds of times. Shuang spots a round object near the pot that looks like gold. Zhu is surprised and tells her that it's a semi-finished product of a one-turn elixir. Zhu explains the division of elixirs and praises her master for being talented. Wushwang wonders whether the process would really be that easy and whether she would get slim after taking elixirs. She puts the semi-finished elixir in her mouth and puffs up to double her size. Mu Wushwang hates the scripts as they always plot against her. After taking another elixir and resting, Wushwang turns back to normal. She is now well aware that she has to be self-dependent. Sanglin, a maid, bursts into her room and informs her that young Master Mu coughed up blood. Wushwang immediately rushes towards the outer court and soon finds out that Yuheng is actually living in a meadow, and that the bad maids deliberately did this to him. Mu Yuheng lies on the bed in a terrible condition. Sanglin informs Wushwang that everyone in charge here is Lady Liu's servant, and they deliberately mistreat the young Master Mu. It's freezing cold in the room, as well as the bath water was cold, and when Sanglin tried to get some medicine for him, she was interfered by the other servants. Mu Wushwang realizes that Liu Jiao is clearly venting her rage on her brother because she is unable to attack her directly. Since Lady Liu is so attached to them, Wushwang decides to punish someone to set up an example. 2 servants are seen criticizing Mu Wushwang, saying that she doesn't look good, and then she dares to flirt with the prince. They even say that Wushwang and her brother are infelicities, and they wish for them to die. Mu Wushwang can't take it anymore and attacks them with a weapon, leaving them trembling in fear. Wushwang questions them about whether their mother hasn't taught them not to say something bad about someone behind their backs. She orders the guards to flog them 50 times. As soon as the guards take a hold of them, they begin to argue with Wushwang, saying that nobody other than the prince can punish others here, and they even question her about being superior to the prince. The servants call Mu Wushwang a bitch and try to humiliate her. Wushwang gives them a death stare and reminds the servants that she is the princess, and she can do whatever she wants. Long Moshin seems to be enjoying the view from a distance. The servants kneel in front of the prince and tell him that Mu Wushwang ignores his authority, and that she is a curse to him. They add up, saying that Lady Liu has always been faithful to him and that she's the one for him. Wushwang feels like she just went into the wrong scene. The prince orders the guards to flog the servants and exile them outside. He also tells the guards to change all the servants in the outer court. The servants beg for mercy, but they are completely ignored. Moshin takes Shuang's hand in his hand and kisses her hand, telling her that she doesn't need to punish the servants herself, she should just leave it to him. Wushwang finds that this is a good opportunity, and tells the prince that her poor brother has been so weak these days. Moshin tells her that it's just a piece of cake, and he asks someone to send some valuable medicines right away. which Wushwang readily approves. As soon as the medicines are delivered, Mu Wushwang feeds it to her brother. Yuheng expresses his concern over the fact that the people in the mansion are bad to her and warns her that she shouldn't get too intimate with the prince. Wushwang assures him that she'll be fine and that it's imperative for him to have good health. Mu Yuheng is sorry that he is unable to protect his sister, but Wushwang assures him that she will definitely cure him. Some people had plotted against Yuheng during the martial arts competition when he was young. He must have suffered a lot after experiencing such a tragedy. Wushwang remembers that there are all kinds of alchemy books in the realm, and there must be ways to help him recover. Mu Wushwang exclaims that no matter what, she will make her brother strong again. Mu Yuheng is just like a bright little flower in the garden, and Wushwang can't just leave him to suffer from devastation at the height of his youth. Rest assured, Wushwang will help him return to a normal body. In order to make the perfect elixir as soon as possible, Mu Wushwang starts to lose weight at this moment. For her, a fitness expert, it's easy to get slim if she wants to. The woman who dares to challenge Pamela's exercise and ballet beauty would never give up. Just then, the prince knocks on her door and tells her that he is here to apologize to her for what happened today. Shuang opens the door, and her heart thumps hard as she looks at her prince. Mu Wushwang jumps on the food and asks Ma Shan how he knows that she's hungry. It seems that the food is more appealing than the prince. Wushwang fails miserably to resist the temptation of food. She experiences a happy sad moment and tells her prince that he is so nice, as he gave her this greasy food at night and all her efforts for weight loss are all wasted. Long Ma Shan looks at Wushwang in the eye and tells her that she is not fat at all and she doesn't need to lose weight. He struggles to hug her with one hand but still tells her that Shuang is slim enough in his eyes. Wushwang continues to chew on her food and burps loudly. She finishes all the food and pats her stomach, exclaiming that she eats more than a pig. Shuang thanks her prince for the midnight snack and tells him that it is so late that he would better get back if he has nothing else to do. Long Ma Shan wonders why Wushwang always pushes him away. He tells her that he has something else to do and approaches her. The prince holds her face and tells her that he has something more important to do than sleep. He tells her that he wants to have little pigs. Wushwang quickly escapes his grip as she tells him that her mouth is very greasy, and she needs to clean it first. Ma Shan grasps her hand and bends closer. He tells her that she doesn't have to clean her mouth as he can do it for her. As he gets closer to her, the bed creaks. The bed cracks the next moment, and Wushwang is about to fall off, but Ma Shan pulls her back. The poor prince is dragged along with Wushwang, and the situation spirals out of control, with Mu Wushwang falling over the prince. She manages to get up, but it seems that Ma Shan can't move at all. The servants help the prince and take him to his room to rest. Wushwang realizes that losing weight is a must. The next day, rumors are spread all over the mansion that the prince was lifted out of the room of Lady Mu last night, and that the prince has some trouble in some parts of his body. Wushwang feels that the rumors spread so fast, and now everyone knows that his prince is the weakest leading male all over the internet. Mu Wushwang is determined to figure out how to cure the prince's leg ailment and to compensate for him. She also needs to make the elixirs to cure her handsome brother. Wushwang gets furious because the elixirs that she made are all semi-finished products and wonders if there is anything wrong with the stove. Hui appears and suggests that she should find the reasons within herself. Zhu tells him to keep quiet, but Kwek continues by saying that many alchemists fuse the alien fire that they have before alchemy, and as Wushwang doesn't have the alien fire now, so she can't control the heat at will. Wushwang listens to him carefully and asks him where she will be able to find alien fire. Zhu suggests that both of them can go to the auction and find it, as there may be suitable fire there. Wushwang thinks about the term auction, where people sell their things to the highest bidder, and tries to connect the situations. Wushwang along with Yuheng arrive at Kaizio Hall and get off the carriage. A man seems to be annoyed as soon as he sees Mu Wushwang, and even Wushwang isn't happy to see him. The guy is the young Duke Gonkin. He is randy, arrogant, and an old enemy of Yuheng. He wonders how Wushwang has arrived in such a luxurious place, and he assumes that she has money now after getting close to the prince. Mu Wushwang greets the young Duke Gonkin and tells him that she hasn't seen him for so long, and he has become so old that she almost doesn't recognize him. She warns him that he shouldn't indulge in carnal conduct, otherwise, the deficiency of the kidneys will make him old. Gonkin burns in anger, but Wushwang is not in the mood to stop. She advises him not to indulge in bad things or he'll have to rely on drugs for fun, even when he's young. And if something happens to any precious part of his body, he'll end up being cheated. A beautiful young man sitting at the restaurant finds Mu Wushwang quite interesting. He asks Zayuan who she is. Zayuan wonders which girl he is asking about. Zayuan pulls him and tells him that she is the third lady from the mansion of the Marquis, Mu Wushwang. He adds up by saying that she is so ordinary and skittish, and she was obsessed with the fourth prince before. Zayuan also informs him that she now lives in the prince regent's house. Song Yeong pokes Zayuan with his hand fan and tells him that there is spiritual energy in her body, and that she's actually not that ordinary. Zayuan can't believe that Yeong is defending Washwang and tells Yeong that he seems to be more tolerant and less picky. Song Yeong exclaims that beautiful appearances are always the same, to which Zayuan adds up, saying that an interesting fat belly is so rare. Yeong tells him that he should just talk, but he shouldn't stick on him. Zayuan is kind of surprised and asks Yeong if he's already in love with Mu Washwang. Mu Washwang asks the young Duke Gonkin whether he needs a tonic. She also offers him some efficient elixirs and recommends them to him. Gonkin tells her that he is still as strong as he used to be and informs her that his concubine Lion is pregnant with his baby. Washwang continues to slander him by saying that he should look at himself as his forehead is black and his eyes are bloated. He gets so annoyed with her that he calls Washwang a fat bitch and tells her that she is just jealous because she is unwanted. Mu Washwang pats the young Duke Gonkin on his shoulders and congratulates him on becoming a father. The people gathered around them discussed about the baby and its real father. Washwang suggests renaming him Duke Cheated and tells him that he is quite tough. Gonkin unsheathes his sword and declares that he'll cut Washwang's tongue and see if she can talk after that. Song Yeong senses danger and jumps from the restaurant's gallery to save her. He attacks Washwang, but instead she grasps his hand and bangs him on the ground. Here, Song Yeong, who jumped from above, is unable to control himself and he can't stop himself. Mu Washwang notices him and catches him immediately. She asks him if he's okay. Yeong seems to be fine, but his heart beats faster and he blushes. Zayuan wonders what the hell he is blushing for, as the situation is really embarrassing. The young Duke Gonkin questions Washwang after she dared to throw him, and he holds Mu Washwang and her disabled brother Yuheng to account. Washwang throws Yeong down and declares that today is the best time, as the last time he had played tricks on her brother to win the competition. She challenges him to compete with Mu Yuheng again in half a month in a duel between young Duke Gonkin and Mu Yuheng wherein the two can fight to death. She tells her brother that he shouldn't be afraid and should definitely take revenge. There is an instant spark of energy in Yuheng, and he now seems to be ready for the challenge. Several months ago, when a martial arts competition took place between the young Duke Gonkin and Mu Yuheng, and Yuheng told him that if he won today, the Duke couldn't plunder girls at his will anymore. The young Duke Gonkin promises Yuheng that he'll beat him very badly. When it's almost time, Mu Yuheng suddenly starts losing his strength. He falls to his knees and realizes that Gonkin has played tricks on him. From a distance, he notices his auntie accepting a reward, and she tells the servant to give her gratitude to the young Duke. Yuheng remembers that before he left, his aunt had given him soup to drink and wonders how she can betray her nephew. A person from the crowd comments that the second young master of the Mu family is kneeling down on the floor like a dog. The young Duke Gonkin questions Yuheng about why he is not being arrogant now, and he whispers in Yuheng's ears, telling him to be rest assured as he won't kill him today. Gonkin stamps on his hand, and Yuheng is so injured internally that he spits out blood. He tells Mu Yuheng that it suffers more to live as a jerk than dying for a talented boy like him. Yuheng is extremely angry, but he is unable to express it. The young Duke tells Yuheng to please him with his wine. Meanwhile, Mu Washwang appears and tells her brother to run. Looking at the condition of Yuheng, Washwang's tears are not yet ready to stop. She tries to break in, but the people stop her because she cannot go in. They inform her that unless one side surrenders, she can't interrupt the competition once her brother has entered the challenge arena. Coming back to the present time, the young Duke Gonkin tells Washwang that it seems that it is not enough for her that he had crippled her brother last time. He accepts the given challenge and tells her that he'll see them in the arena at the gate of the city exactly after half a month. Mu Washwang states that who doesn't dare come is a coward. Gonkin departs with his concubine Lion, telling her that they must first purchase a coffin for the little crippled boy. Song Yeong exclaims that Mu Washwang has made a big gamble. Washwang tells him that she never does anything that she is not sure about, and now that she has made it, she is sure that she'll win it. Mu Washwang has found a way to refine the elixirs that could restore the body of Yuheng in the realm. Half a month will be enough for her, and if she could get the alien fire today, the effect would be even more amazing. Yeong knows that this chubby girl is indeed different. He tells Washwang that she owns a VIP room in the Kaizio Hall, and invites her to stop by and have a word with him. In the VIP room at the Kaizio Hall, the table is filled with food. Song Yeong hands Washwang a plate of food and tells her that this snack is prepared specially for her, and that women should be nice to themselves. Yeong is a sweet person and is friendly to all the women. Mu Yuheng feels that he is flattering Wushwang for no reason. Mu Wushwang can't believe another beautiful man is enamored with her and wonders if she just walked into an imperial palace and would end up playing with 100 gorgeous and handsome guys every day. She feels that the taste of beautiful men in this world is quite strange, as they like a fat woman like her. A man interrupts them and introduces himself as the person in charge of treasure appraisal in the Kaizio Hall, and asks them who has elixirs for auction. Mu Wushwang immediately takes out her 6-ingredient nutrition elixir. The old man notices that it's a semi-finished product and tells her that she is looking down on him and wants to pick a fight with him by taking this kind of elixir to the Kaizio Hall. Wushwang forcefully puts one elixir in his mouth and tells him that he should not waste time but taste it, and he'll know the quality. The old man seems to enjoy the taste and feels energetic. His kidneys are repaired, and he is back to his youth. The old man transforms into a young, handsome boy from within, and Wushwang feels that this is a gross exaggeration and tells him to be careful as the readers may report his false advertisements. The old man assures her that he will spare no effort to make this 6-ingredient nutrition elixir the most popular product this summer. After the thrilling shopping rush, the old man tells Wushwang that he is honored to complete the mission and offers her the net profit. She stops him in the middle and tells him that it's exciting to count money herself. The total comes to 14 million taels of gold, and Wushwang is rich now. Song Yang approves that her soul is just as interesting as her belly. Mu Wushwang tells the manager to take all the money and give her all the lotus alien fire he has in store. For the first time ever, Wushwang feels rich and extravagant. She asks him if the money is enough, and the old man says yes. Zayuan feels that this girl is too extravagant and that women need no reason to buy things. With just a little money, she got what she wanted. As for Wushwang, the smile of her handsome brother is 1,000 times more important than money. Song Yang finds Mu Wushwang really attractive when she doesn't regret the loss of thousands of gold. Zayuan wonders that only Yang, the prince of the Lamb of Dongchen State, who has countless money, will appreciate this kind of extravagant behavior. The old man strikes as the deal is done and puts up the next item, a realm stone, for auction. Zhu immediately pops out and tells her master to buy it. Wushwang asks her why she wants the stone. Zhu tells her that once she has the stone, not only can the realm of the jade bracelet be fixed, but she could also upgrade by 2 levels. On the other hand, Que, being straightforward, asks Wushwang to buy it because he wants it. Wushwang exclaims that it's just a piece of cake as she has just earned so much money, but she soon realizes that she just spent all the money. Que crosses his hands, whereas Zhu seems to be in a shock. Looking at Wushwang's condition, Song Yang asks her if she has some kind of problem. Zayuan tells him that she must have regretted spending the money, and she's actually heartbroken. Yang acknowledges the situation and tells her that he got it, leaving Zayuan in a state of confusion. Song Yang tells the waiter to inform the manager that he has bought all the realm stones and asks him to state a price. Zayuan wonders why rich people can always do things at will. Once the deal is done, Yang gifts the realm stone to Wushwang. She really appreciates his kindness, but the stone seems to be too valuable. Wushwang wonders how Song Yang could do things at will just like the prince. Yang tells her that if she feels awkward to take it, she can also give him a return gift, and he asks for the jade pendant that she has on her wrist. Wushwang hides the jade pendant behind her, as it is from Long Moshin. Her thoughts run wild, thinking that the person Song Yang likes may be Long Moshin and not her. She smiles awkwardly, knowing that the prince is a great backer and that she got it with lots of effort. Mu Wushwang hands Song Yang a huge hammer and tells him to take it. She tells him that it's late and she has to go home, and she runs away with her little brother as she can't allow Yang to have connections with her backer. Song Yang wonders what a hammer as the gift of love means. Zayuan knows that Song Yang was the guy who once even ran away from the imperial concubine selection scene, and he finds it annoying that Yang is suddenly interested in that fat woman. After running for a long time, Mu Wushwang and Yuheng reach an empty alley. They are abruptly stopped by a man with a mask on his face. He tells Wushwang that he is really interested in one thing that she has. Wushwang asks him whether he is after her for her money or her beauty. The masked man laughs at her and asks her if he really has beauty. Unexpectedly, Long Moshin appears in the alley and asks the man if he is laughing at his schwang. The man shows a bit of disagreement with Moshin calling Wushwang his lady, and she argues with him. The man tells her that the Prince Regent likes men. It turned out to be a rumor as he likes chubby women. Wushwang gets furious and tells him that he's chubby as a ball. The man finally gets back to business and tells Wushwang that the realm stones can only perform their function when they are used by alchemists like him, and the young master actually gave the treasure to her, and that's a waste. He asks her to give it to him, but Washwang tells him that it's hers now that it's been given to her, and even if she throws it away, he can do nothing but just stand there and watch. Wang Moshin is good at seizing the focus and noting that there is something valuable given to Washwang by a young master. The masked man tells Washwang that she will not feel safe under the protection of the Prince Regent and asks her if she remembers what day it is today. It's a full moon night. The poison in Long Moshin's leg takes effect on the full moon night. The prince claims that he has overrun the highest heaven continent for so many years and that he kills people anytime he wants, and he doesn't care if it is the full moon night. Moshin attacks the man, and he falls straight to the ground. He wonders how this could be possible, as the prince should clearly be weak on the full moon night. Wang Moshin knows that the condition of his leg is not so good now, and he would be in danger if he insisted on using his internal energy. He should better end the battle soon. Mu Washwang notices the prince's condition and is now ready to attack the masked man with her super beasts, as he provoked her and she swears to beat him to nothing left. Guys, with this, its first part ends here. So if you like the video, then hit that like button and leave a comment for the next part. Most important, subscribe and press the bell icon for notification. I will meet you in new video. Till then, bye.